Welcome, everybody, to a collaboration between the Tabletop Express and Board Game Dads. It's not working. There he is. Whatever. There he is. Anthony, Board Game Dads. How you doing? A
Hi. I'm
collaboration
well.
between so this is something that came up. We were talking about Three Sisters. We wanted to play it. In the process, we decided we wanted to play with other people. So Mr. Coaster is here. We also, within the chat, are going to have one half of two most difficult, and the dice calls for the game may come through there through the chat. As you see, two most difficult has arrived. So you'll see dice calls coming there through the chat, and I'll be bringing those up. The biggest thing about this game is as long as you've got the main board and the dice chucking for that, Anthony is going to be managing that plus the farmer Edith, who, by the way, can I say, Anthony, the solo version of this is really cruel. That's all I want to say.
Oh yeah, I
Farmer
have
Edith
not
is
tried it
really
yet.
cruel in the solo version. So, but that said, this is a live playthrough. Let's talk a little bit about this, Anthony. The board that people are going to be looking at throughout, just so you know, looks a little bit like this. And this is what you're going to see a lot of the game. We'll showcase our boards from time to time, but this is what we're going to be working and operating off of. It's a rondelle.
Right.
And so aside from our sheets that we have in
Right.
front of us,
Which we should show also, because
which we should show. There is a lot on these sheets, by the way. And yeah, Mrs. Coaster pointing that out here. These sheets, this is one sheet, and this is another sheet. So there is, I've laminated mine. That's why they're extra shiny. They probably don't show as well. But there's a lot of action. So Anthony, let's talk a little bit about this, the actions that we can take in this game.
surely.
I think it's important we go through a little bit what is going on here.
Yeah. So to start, we're going to do the planning phase, which is rolling all the dice. So in a 4-player game, which we're currently doing, we're going to roll all 6 of these dice, and essentially, we put Farmer Edith starts right here on this spot on the rondelle, and now we group all the dice by the similar numbers. So I'm looking here at actually 4 3s. That's my lowest number. So all 4 of those 3s go right on Farmer Edith's spot. And then I've got 2 5s, which are going to go here on the next spot. Active player is going to choose one of those dice and do 2 different things in any order. But the 2 things are, you're going to do the garden phase with the actual number of the die that you chose. Then, or first, you can do this rondelle action that's on here. The way the garden phase works is if you choose a die, so let's say I chose this 3, I'm going to look at my 3 zone garden in our top right, and I have a choice here to either plant or water. If you choose plant, you're going to fill in the bottommost square of any 2 crops in that garden. If you choose to water, everything that has been planted will grow 1. So it's important to know the difference, because you're going to want to plant several crops and then at various points in the game, water them so that they all grow. All right, but you always have to start at the bottom and go up.
Within that
The
one
caveat being here,
one section, right? Within that one section.
In that one section, yes. In
Yes.
3. For this example, in section 3.
The one difference, by the way, just to be, the dice actually are going the other way around the board, the clockwise.
Oh yeah, that's because I have it backwards. Thank you.
Yeah, just make it. I realized you were looking at it from that angle, so I want to make sure, just so people.
That's why you're
no
here.
one pulled
That's
it
why
out
you're here.
on yet, so I knew, but I knew why it was happening.
Awesome, thank you. So that's the gardening part, which is the actual value on the die. You then can do the rondelle action, which in this case is apiary or fruit. So I'm going to go over all the stuff on the pages, but basically all those rondelle actions are going to be either apiary fruit stuff, doing extra shed time, or doing more of the plant and water action that you just did up here where these 5s are. Okay. One note, in the gardens, the pumpkins are basically in red. If you reach the top of any of the pumpkin patches, you're going to get that many goods on the good track. That's why they're in red, and the good track is over on your right side. The regular plants, though, the corn and beans, are going to give you victory points. So if you get all the way up to the top of one of the corn ones, you're going to score 3 points. And for the bean ones, you'll score 1 point. However, you cannot plant a bean plant unless the corn plant right next to it is at least 2 spaces high. So again, it's a timing thing where you want to kind of maximize the water that you're getting to kind of grow all this stuff at the same time.
Yep.
So that's the garden. The other thing you'll see in the garden are some flowers, which go with the perennials at the bottom of that sheet. All of them are on there twice. Basically, whenever you totally encompass one of those flowers, meaning that you completely grow both pumpkin patches on either side. All right, so going as an example, going back to garden zone number 3, which is the top right, there's a hyacinth there. If I was to finish the pumpkin on left and right of that hyacinth, I get 1 hyacinth action down here at the bottom in the perennial track. These also get filled in from the bottom up. So if I did that and got a hyacinth, I go to hyacinth, cross off the bottommost hex there. Where's that octagon? That's hex. And I get 2 goods. All right, so that's how you would get flowers, perennials from the garden for that bottom action. All right, so let's move on down to the perennials. Go ahead.
Just while we have a moment, and it's going to cover you up a little bit, but I just want to show everybody to look at this board.
Perfect.
So you can get an idea here, and I know we're a little bit off to the side in this view, but I think it's important to point out that you were speaking to this garden and perennial area here. I'm going to move this into an easier view, but just so people have an idea of what this board looks like, this is what everyone has in front of them. If you've played Fleet the Dice game, you're going to immediately feel some of the same kind of decision-making factors. So
yeah, very, very similar feel in a few aspects of the sheets for sure. So the different perennials along the bottom are going to be marked off from bottom to top. If you reach the last spot on top, you're going to get victory points. You can see that they're all pretty much different. But in addition to that, as you go up in each one, there's usually some kind of other bonus or something else that you get to do. So starting on the left here with the tulip, as soon as you fill in that bottom tulip spot, you see how there's a star? Anytime there's a star, that means a bonus action. What kind of bonus? Well, it says right there, it's a fruit bonus. So again, jumping over to the other sheet, in your fruit section, we've got apples, peaches, blackberries, and raspberries. I would fill in one of those spots. This time we're going from left to right, if that makes sense. Next one up on tulip, I'm going to get 2 goods, and then nothing, and then later 3 goods per peach harvest. Everything is pretty self-explanatory on those things. And again, if you have questions, obviously ask them. There's a lot going on. But that's basically how tulip would work. At the very top, you're going to get 1 point for every fruit that you have harvested, max of 15 points. I'm telling you now, you're not going to get to the top of most of these perennial tracks. Maybe 1 or 2. If you've played Fleet the Dice game, this is very similar to the license section, where you get various bonuses and then some points if you do the whole thing. All right, hydrangea, moving over there. Again, you can see different fruits along there. So if you fill in that particular spot, you get that respective fruit. 7 points if you get all the way top. Iris is going to give you +1 to compost. So we'll talk about compost next. In the bottom right of your score sheet, where it has the goods track, and then next to that is compost. You start with 1 compost. Compost allows you to alter the number on the die that you chose, up or down 1, but you can use multiple compost in 1 turn. So if you want to change something from a 3 to a 6, if you have enough compost, go for it. You would cross them off as you use them. So in this Iris case, where it says +1 compost, you're going to gain a compost. And all you do there is basically put a little dot in the next available compost spot so you know that you have it. Next one up in Iris lets you automatically alter the dice without using compost. So that's a plus or minus to any zone. So if you chose a 3, but you wanted to make it a 4, you can do that. And as you see higher up, it happens again on the Iris scale, and it does stack. So if you get both of those, now you can change every number that you choose by 2. That's Iris. Hyacinth, pretty self-explanatory, gives you some 2 goods every now and then 10 points all the way on top. Crocus is all about compost, so you're going to fill up your compost track there, 6 points on top. And finally, Daffodil is all about the shed actions, which we'll get to. Basically, it's 4 points for filling up all the way to the top, but along the way, you'll do some shed stuff.
We do have a question, Anthony.
We have a question. Perfect.
Yeah, the teacher saw the first set I started in a space after the gardener. Is that the space she's supposed to be in? Because she does move.
So yes, so the lowest value dice goes in the space that Farmer Edith is currently on, and then yes, thank you, she actually moves to now the next available spot that there are no dice. In this case, it would be up to this shed time spot.
Yeah, and she's going to move throughout the game. Edith is moving around the entire game, so the starting spots continue to change throughout.
Right. So you get a pretty good mix of everything.
So as we go up the Iris track, and it says you get to the plus or minus 2. Are you just keeping track of it just from that spot? There isn't anything else on that you'd mark otherwise. You just got to remember that you have that.
Sort of have to remember it. Yeah, I will say that it definitely is a challenge, even to Fleet the Dice game. And there's probably countless times that I've never noticed missing something because I never noticed it. But I will say on this score sheet, next to your score sheet part, like your actual tallies, is a little empty spot for journal. That's what that spot is for, is to make any kind of like reminder notes that you want to do to remind you for that stuff. So like a lot of times you're going to be comboing, right? And getting like a bonus action from one of the perennials, but maybe that also gave you enough goods on the good track that now you reached a star on there as well. Now you've got another bonus action. You know, you can use that journal spot to just mark an extra star or whatever, however it makes sense to you. That's kind of what that's for. I thought that was kind of neat. I think that was probably
that's great.
From feedback from Fleet the Dice game. I'd love to know the answer to that. So, Chris, when you have those gentlemen on, I'm going to be asking that kind of question.
Yeah, they are coming on, and they are coming on later this month. So Matt and Ben will be on Tabletop Express to chat a little bit about all their games, but in particular, I mean, this game's going to come up for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, so basically on to the second score sheet, which we've already referenced a couple of times. At the very bottom is the goods track and the compost. In the fruit orchards, notice that there are squares and circles. So you're going to be doing these from left to right. The circle spot means that you have harvested that fruit. Okay? The squares is just basically an extra step. So if you have any kind of bonus that gives you something per harvested fruit, just know that you're counting only the circles in those tracks and not the squares. Okay. They also give you various bonuses. The apples are just more victory points, as you can see. The peaches let you do extra watering, which is nice because that's going to make everything grow. Blueberries are also just victory points, and then the raspberries have a little bit of a combo. They're mostly goods, but every once in a while, a couple of victory points as well. Any questions about fruit?
Yeah, in the comments as well. I know, like I said, if you have questions throughout the game, we're obviously going to be playing, but feel free to ask. Obviously,
yeah,
you
sure.
know. And well, I don't want to claim I'll try to speak to too much strategy because I'm still trying to balance.
There's one sec. I just wanted to ask with the water action that comes with the peaches. Does that pertain to a particular section? Is that a universal all sections watering?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm going to try to find that. But I would imagine you probably have to pick a zone. Let's see what peach
That would
says.
make sense.
We can, when you harvest a peach, take a water action in a zone of your choice.
One zone. Yep.
One zone. That would be way too powerful if you could water every zone.
Yeah.
Way
Well, I
too
mean,
powerful.
that's what the rain is for.
Exactly.
All right. So above the fruit is the apiary, which is an interesting new addition, I would say. That's probably not comparable to something in Fleet, which is cool. But basically, it's a tree of sorts. You're going to start in that middle, which again is going to give you nothing, but then a fruit, and then nothing, and then two fruits. And then when you get to the top, you can decide what direction you want to go in: wax, honey, or split hive, which each have their own respective bonuses. You don't have to commit to one. You can branch off and try to do two. I have not spent too much time in the apiary, but maybe today I'll give it a shot. So that's pretty cool. A lot of stuff going on there. And the last thing we have is the shed. So the shed has lots of things that are also going to be filled in from left to right. And again, the circle means it's done. A lot of them give you victory points, and other ones give you kind of a way to do some extra stuff or score in a different way. The mason jars, for example, are just going to give you, every time you do blueberry harvest, you're going to get an extra good. So the blueberries have, I'm sorry, not blueberries, blackberries have 2 victory points each, right? So if you have that mason jar filled in, every time you do blackberries, you're going to get 2 points and a good. So that's an example of, a pretty easy combo. And then, I don't know, do you guys want me to go into all the shed stuff, or do you want to kind of wait for it to come up?
I mean, if you have questions about a specific shed action during, I think we can hit it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are very self-explanatory. The biggest thing I'll just point out to what you said, Anthony, is what I was doing in the journal when I played was I was noting, okay, I now have this action, because most of my extra actions were coming from the shed. And so I was noting it down there, and that was helpful. So I would recommend, if you play this game, take advantage of that little journal section. It's really nifty. It's small,
I like it,
but helpful. So we did,
all right,
though.
so
Yeah, I was going to say, Anthony, I did set, so just so everyone knows, the turn order for round 1, and we're just going to remember what round we're going to go through. I'm not necessarily going to adjust this every time, but so everyone knows the round order that we're going in turn order, since we're not all sitting at a table together and we're here online. We're going to start Board Game Dads, myself, go over to Mr. Coaster himself, and then 2 most difficult is in our chat. By the way, please just take a moment. Everyone here has something that they do, and I would encourage you to check out what they do. If you look them up online on Twitter, etc., they all participate and do really great stuff. So please make sure you do that. It's really important. Big thing for me is the community factor, and I'm lucky enough to live close enough to Anthony that we can hang out. But it's really great to be able to do this with everybody here online and to make new friends in the process.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And 2 most difficult says my body is ready. So it sounds like he's good to go. We got him too, because the other half of his podcast is playing poker tonight. So he was looking for something to do, and we're glad to have him here tonight.
There you go. I hope your other half is just the slightest bit jealous that they're not playing Three Sisters with us. Just a little bit. But hopefully they win some money. All right, so we took a big sidestep to go over the entirety of the score sheets. But remember, back to the rondelle. So you're taking one of these dice. You're doing either planting or watering with that number. And then you're also doing the rondelle action. You can do those in any order that you want. When everyone has chosen a die, the lowest die remaining, everybody is going to do that action again. Meaning, if all this stuff was gone and only, I'm gonna roll these again, I think, actually. Let's say that was there. We all took a bunch, and this was the only one left. All of us would get to do a plant or water 3 and a plant or water rondelle action. So you're getting lots of chances to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Finally, after everyone has taken that last action, everyone gets to do this event for the round, which, in addition to tracking the rounds, there's 8. It also shows you what that event is. It's going to be a combination of shed time, rain, which I'll talk about in just a second, and farmer's market. Farmer's market is the only thing that's really not on your score sheet. It's up here in the top corner. Anytime we do a farmer's market action, you're going to count how many goods you have along the goods track, and wherever you fall in this spectrum here, you'll take the respective bonus that's next to it. They all have a flower action, so this is another way to get perennials, and other stuff. All right, 1 compost, an extra fruit, 2 compost, things like that. So that's farmer's market. Also, I think I said this already, but as a reminder, on the goods track, anytime you cross off a star, it's a bonus action. That star bonus action can be used anywhere on your sheet except for the garden. So it can't be used for pumpkins, corn, and beans, but it can be used anywhere else. Shed, apiary, perennials, everything.
Yep.
And then that's basically would be the end of the round, and we would just go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Final scoring. You'll see on your right side, you're going to get all points from all the garden, everything you planted in the garden. Any perennials that you got to the top of are going to give you points for that. If you did anything in the apiary, those points, fruit points, shed points, and then the grand total. That's basically it.
So we start this game with a roll. And as the question was asked earlier, we'll clarify it just one more time for anyone to join later. With the roll, they are going to start where Farmer Edith is, and then Farmer Edith moves, and that's always becomes the starting point.
Right.
And it's working its way around. And
right,
Anthony
so
will be our dice master tonight.
2 2s on Edith, followed by 2 4s and 2 6s. So Edith will move to this spot. All right. Okay, so allegedly I'm up first, correct?
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a 4. I'm taking this 4. I'm not going to talk about every single move that I make. I'm just, as an opening thing, I'm taking this 4 because not only can I plant in the 4 zone, but the rondelle is also planter water. So I'm kind of planting twice just by choosing 1 die. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then, Chris, I guess you're next.
No, it's interesting. I do like to get ahead in this one in particular with the planter water. And I know we got the apiary trait, so I'm still going to be able to get there. Shed time can be useful, but I'll tell you, I'm going to take that planter water as well with that 4.
All right, so both 4s are gone.
So both 4s are gone. And again, keep in mind, there's a really important thing that Anthony pointed out before, but when you are filling in these areas, there's beans that are shorter, and you can't fill in the beans until you fill in the corn. So you've got to make decisions of also where you want to go and build this up, because when the rain comes, it really is going to help your garden blossom.
The rain
So when you're taking the planter garden action, the planting, you're marking off 2 boxes, right?
2 boxes in a crop that has not been started yet.
Didn't start right, and not a bean unless it's up there. Okay.
Unless the corn is already 2 spots high.
Yeah.
So am I selecting a die now?
It is your turn to select the die, and then we're going to go to the 2 most difficult.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and select the number 6 die.
All right. So you get a 6 and a shed time.
So I'm going to plant twice, right? And I can mark off a shed item. So I think I'm going to mark off the mason jars.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. And 2 most difficult, also taking the 6. So you get a 6 and a shed time as well. And then all of us are getting a 2 to plant or water, in addition to an apiary or fruit on the rondelle.
in the apiary. You know, it's so interesting because much like you, when I played this, Anthony, I didn't do much at all with the apiary, like
I'm
at
going
all.
for it this game. I'm telling you right now. I'm going for it.
But it's only
I've
one
already-
slot on the apiary, so it's
Listen, I try to go for the big points. I played this game last night, and I built the tractor and the trimmer. So that's 24 shed points right there with
Wow.
those two, and I still lost. So I'm going bees this time. The bees are the key.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows in the comments, because I would not mentioning it, is ultimately two most difficult. Well, I will bring it up next time when he selects, just so people can see, because he is selecting in there. So playing along with us. And I want to make sure that it's noted so people know the actions and see it easily on the screen.
I managed
Cool.
to get my first combo.
There you go. What did you do?
Well, I had the mason jars marked, so with this shared
Oh, so
action,
the
I
blackberry.
selected the blackberry, so I get to mark the goods too.
Awesome.
This game is
All
great
right,
already.
and there you go. You're winning. And now the round one event is shed, so everybody gets a shed time action.
Yes. So you can go right back to that shed.
Love the shed already.
Yeah, the shed can give you some really neat opportunities. I, in particular, I will say, Anthony, one of the ones I like a lot is the wheelbarrow action. Because that plus one good.
That.
It's a plus one good with the wheelbarrow action after a shed action. So it's pretty nifty. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
And it sounds like Two Most Difficult has completed his rain barrel, by the way.
Oh, hey, there you go. That was fast.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I've skipped over rain and never went back to it. When it rains, you grow everything that you have planted in your garden, all 6 zones. So that rain barrel is going to water everything for the rain action, and then he gets to do another zone. That's pretty cool, and it's 2 points. All right, so I think we're ready for round 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we are ready for round 2. So again, you'll see this game will end up moving pretty quick once we get going. Especially we're playing over, StreamYard here, which is what we use for the back end. And if we're in person, I imagine it moves even quicker. I haven't played before yet, but let's give a roll. Let's see what we have.
Are you rolling or am I rolling?
You're rolling.
All right. Okay. So we finally got a 1, which I do want to point out is a very cool pumpkin icon like that. So that's going to go on Farmer Edith here. We then have 2 2s over here and 3 3s down here. Farmer Edith moves over there. And Chris, you choose first.
I'm going to take that compost and 4 goods. I want to get some goods going here.
All right. She's taking that 1. Cool.
Then I'll get my
round 2 go. Mr. Coaster, you're up.
All right. I'm going to take the 2 and do some planting. And my apiary of fruit, I guess I'll go with some blackberries.
All right. 2 most, you're up.
Let's see. It is interesting, though. I love that you're finding early on that appreciation for the combos, because that's really, for me, what made me love Fleet the Dice game. Yeah. And this one has it. So once we have
it does.
And that one's a great game. I got to play this more before I do a proper comparison.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Taking a 3, all right.
It looks like you can go a lot of different directions. I mean, time will tell, but it looks like you have a lot of different ways to go about winning or directing your strategy.
Yes, definitely.
I can say this.
Let's see.
The only game
I think I'm going to take this
game that I find that goes even deeper for me personally than Fleet the Dice game in this is Hadrian's Wall, which is a very
need to, though.
Love that game. Absolutely love that game. So,
All right. I took a 2. That's going to leave everybody with a 3 and a shed time.
3 and a shed time. I don't dislike that.
And reminder that we're getting rain at the end of this round too, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Now, can I point out that it looks like, by the way, 2 most difficult mason jars complete.
Dang, you're all about that shed.
All about that shed. Yeah, I was gonna say one of the things that's really interesting is Edith takes actions away from you in the solo mode, and it really can be challenging. So that's the one thing about the solo mode that made it brutal when I was trying to fill out this.
I think that's similar to Fleet the Dice game is the only game I think I've played a solo mode of any game, to be honest. And a very similar feel. I think the AI piece blocks you from doing stuff.
It is the rain action.
We are ready for rain. So now everything in your garden that has been planted will grow up 1 spot.
Beautiful. I can plant some beans now. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm lacking in the perennials. I'm going to say that though. I last time I played this, I was a lot heavier on perennials. So
I don't have any yet.
I could see myself singing the Beatles' "Rain" when that happens during this game.
We are going into round 3, by the way, everybody. Round 3.
Just want to make sure 2 most difficult. If you are ready for the next roll, just want to make sure you're done with your actions. Okay.
Well, he has those mason jars. So
we got Edith has the 1 there. All right, we got a big spectrum here. Well, not too big, but bigger than we've had.
And it looks like, by the way, 2 most difficult having a good time with this one. He said Rain Barrel let him water a zone after the rain, and he's already in Pumpkin Town in zone 3.
Hey, there you go.
So
cool.
That's great.
All right, and you're up first, 2 most this time.
Oh, is it 2? Is it? Wait a minute.
Round 3, no. I'm sorry. It's Mr. Coaster. My bad.
Mr. Coaster. Then we got 2 most difficult. I'm last this round. I am last.
All right, I think I'm going to take the number 6.
Got it.
Shed time, and I'm going to plant me some beans. And fill in my rain barrel.
All right. Brian Chandler in the house. Welcome, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
2 most difficults up on the board. He's taken 4. So that's 1 off 4. That's those are always really powerful. Those taking that 4 and then being able to have that plant action one more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit. I'm gonna take that 4 as well.
I figured you would. You're leaving a 6 on shed time, though, aren't you? It's tough here because the apiary of fruit I have never done before. And I actually think what I'm going to do, I know the route I'm going here. I'm going to do that. What's the number? I apologize. I got the 3 sisters up there. What is the number on that apiary of fruit?
This is 2. Sorry.
That is 2. No, just making sure I was correct on that. You know what? Perfect. I'm going to take that apiary fruit action. Let's have some apiary. Let's go for it. Because that gets me a fruit. And I'm taking a nice raspberry, which gets me 3 goods, which gets me an extra action because I crossed the border.
Here we go. Bonus time.
Which gets me another action, which gets me a few more goods because it gets me to another action. And yeah, this is the fun, right?
Killer
this is that
combo.
And then I'm taking a mason jar to get me some extra goods in my blackberry harvest. So that was a happy turn for me.
Cool. And then we are sharing a 1 and farmer's market. Or is it the higher number? No, it's the lower number.
Here we get the farmer's market actions now, correct?
Mm-hmm,
So that is going to be based on the amount of goods you have. How is everyone's goods count?
I have 1.
I have 3.
I have 10, so I'm going to get a
Dang.
perennial and a compost, which will be nice for some dice manipulation. By the way, Brian asking a question. Let's take this on real quick. I haven't played Three Sisters, but I love Roll and Rights. How does it compare to Fleet the Dice Game or Hadrian's Wall? I could compare it for Hadrian's Wall. This is still not quite as intense for me, but this is right up there in that realm in between Fleet the Dice Game and Hadrian's Wall. I enjoy all 3, and those are literally my top 3 Roll and Rights. So right now, this one is like easily slotting into the top 3 with 2 or 3 plays. So I think that gives you a good route. And I apologize.
I've yet to play Hadrian's Wall, but I agree with that.
You will. It's being borrowed by someone else right now, but you're next.
All right. So we did our shared action, and then don't forget that we have another farmer's market as the end of round event.
Yes.
So that happens for you again. You're going to be racking up some stuff.
That is exactly why I'm excited. Because I'm at 13 now. So yeah, it's really interesting because Anthony, you pointed this out early on. When you look at that board that I up earlier on, let me just bring it up real quick. When you look at this board on the right, you are never going to fill all those roles. If you look at the sheet on the left and the bottom row, all those perennials, all these different rows, you're never going to finish them all. It's just not going to happen. So I think that is the point, that you do have to dedicate yourself to a plan at some point. Otherwise, you will be stuck behind, and you don't want that.
All
but
right.
I'm good otherwise.
I believe we're ready to roll for round 4.
We are, and that means 2 most difficult. We'll be leading the way this time. Oh, we have.
All right, so
we got
one
more
there.
people saying hello.
3.
And this is always
nice.
Hi,
Ro.
Hey,
how you doing? I popped on. He was playing Azul earlier, doing the solo mode, doing a 2 for 2 games because it's February 2nd, 2022. So good to see you. Yeah, and 2 most difficult is the one up right now with his choice. Yeah, and actually he had a stream going the other night of this. So this game, I will not be surprised to see a lot more of this. And I'm always up for playing with this. Anyone online who wants to play, because quite frankly, it's a blast. So the 6, he took the 6. And
6.
Yeah.
All right, that's
it's amazing
now, right?
though. I got to tell you, Anthony, how quickly these pile up. I know they did it in Fleet the Dice Game, but I didn't own Fleet the Dice Game. I played your copy. So
we played this game last night, and I said to my wife and my friend who we're playing with, it's just now anytime these 2 guys make a dual sheet roll and write, like it's automatic at this point. So
it's just buy.
I think this vibe and this 2 sheet thing has legs for sure, and I think they're just going to be more innovative with the next one. I would be shocked if there was not another one that's already rolling around in their collective brains there, because this is this thing hits.
And visually, I just want to point out, it's gorgeous. Say. It's gorgeous. The art, everything about this, beautiful.
Looks great, and there's so many options. It seems like there's going to be a long time that you can explore your possibilities here.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
The possibilities.
I'm taking a 3.
Are for Anthony now. He's what, 3? Taking that 3. Oh, the apiary. Back on the apiary trail.
Apiary there. Yep.
It is interesting too, because I'm thinking about what is going to be the lowest and what do I want. And I think I'm going to go that apiary action as well. I'm going to take it.
Alrighty.
Darn it.
I just want to make some honey or some wax. I'm not sure yet.
So clarification, if I use a compost to alter the die, I'm still taking the rondelle action that is with the dice that I'm altering. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
This is, this true words have not been spoken. Designers are doing something really cool with the roll and write genre. They're turning it on its head, and it's exciting. They are not all the same, because roll and write got so popular there, and then but then some of them felt the same, and now we're seeing so much variety. So
yeah, we're definitely moving past the multicolored dice and different tracks, which I love. Listen, I love those games. I have so many of them right next to me. But you're right. This is next level stuff, and I think the possibilities are pretty good. Even super skilled pinball, should point out, is another very innovative twist.
We just
on the
played
roll,
that
right?
Before we signed on with you guys tonight.
Nice.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nice.
So it is on Mr. Coaster, I believe, at this point, and we're almost halfway through here for what it's worth.
I'm going to take the one.
Okay.
And I'm going to plant there and do the was it 1 compost and 4 goods?
Yep.
All right, that'll net me another action here. Let's keep going with the blackberries.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. And it looks like that means the group action for everyone's going to be this 4 and a shed time.
Correct.
4 and
followed by rain. Followed by rain. So keep that in mind. 4 shed time.
Yeah,
followed by
very
rain.
important to remember that one. All right, got that. Yeah, this game definitely skyrocketed up my list. I was joking because we're putting together for Tabletop Express a top 20, which is focused on us all individually, so we can just focus on people, tell a little of their story, get to know our own interests. And as I was going through, I was saying, oh, where's this fall now? Because it's my favorite 20 right now. And I had to rank, so I still have to rank this. I don't know where it's going to fall. Did it bust my top 20? I don't actually know. I had to think about it. It's really crazy how quickly I've come to love this one. I'm not normally a Cult of New guy either. I have to take a game in. So
quick clarification with the when you reach the free actions and the goods, you can use it for anything except for the planting and waters, right?
Correct.
Okay. Correct. Because I actually just got one of those, and it's nice. I just picked up +1 victory point per 2 beans because I have made a casserole dish in my shed.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So
yeah,
that is
so much stuff. So much stuff.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, there's so much stuff. I didn't even realize there was a casserole dish in there. There's
a casserole dish.
It's just like real life. You never know when you're going to go in your shed, move a bunch of crap, and find a casserole dish. I mean, come on. This is real life.
Before we go back around to you, Anthony, has everyone taken the rain action where everything has gotten?
No. Let's make it rain.
Yeah. And for those listening, the rain action is immensely powerful, where you can take water action in all of your zones, and that's what makes it so huge when you're playing this game. Popping that up, and it could mean a lot of victory points.
Yeah, I talked about it and didn't do it myself.
Yeah, it's a neat action. That's all I can say. All right. Round 5. We are halfway through, folks.
5 go. Here we go. We got a pair of 1s on Farmer Edith, followed by a pair of 2s, and a pair of 6s. So you go. 2 most. We got the kind of the poker theme here too, which is 3 pairs is not a poker hand. I know. All right, let's see here. We're going to be going to the farmer's market. All right. I'm going with the 1. One of the 1s, I should say. And I'm going to continue up that apiary and do some planting.
I'm also going to take that 1 action as well, because I want those 2 fruits, because those two fruits that I'm getting get me 2 goods, which before the farmer's market get me to a 20 in the goods department. So a very easy decision to take that 1 there, and bumping up a 1 and bumping up in the 1 garden ain't bad either, which actually just got me more goods. So go figure.
So I'm going to take the 6 and do some planting. And my shed, I've got mulch, so I can take a perennial instead of the rondelle action.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So I'm going to keep moving up the hydrangea.
I think that's an underrated
2 most takes
move
the
too.
other 6.
That may end up being an underrated move and strategy that I have to consider in the future, because that's pretty powerful to be able to really go crazy on the perennials. And not to forego the garden, but I mean, that's pretty. I like it.
Figured I'd take a shot. It's got some extra free actions within the fruit area, so figured I'd double up on it.
Yeah.
All right, and then we are all going to share a 2/plant/water.
A 2. So we got a 2.
Plant 2 water.
And that water. What zone do I want to do there? Fill water up. All right. As you can see, though, if anyone tunes in, whether it's watching live or after the fact, the game moves quick. It's important to note that 2 people playing this game had not played it before. Anthony, I can't claim we've played it a ton, but the game as a whole, even with chatting about it, at teaching it, we're at 48 minutes. This game can easily fly, because the turns are, you're not spending a ton of time, I think, between turns. Between like individual turns,
No.
like it doesn't feel like you don't feel like you're like waiting.
No, and even when it's not your turn, you're obviously looking at what you might want to do anyway. So you have a contingency plan, and it's all good.
Yep.
I feel like that compared to some things, even though there's a ton of choices on here, I don't feel necessarily like I'm as hung up with AP as you might be.
Yeah.
On some games and the decision.
Yeah. I mean, once you get past that, you have to commit to a couple of things and do those things. You can jump around a little bit, but
it does get a little longer here, though, because now, as you can see, we've got more combos happening. We're going into the farmer's market now. So,
yes, we're doing our round 5 event, which is farmer's market. So,
which I'm happy to report is a perennial and a fruit.
I don't think any of us are happy about that besides you.
I'm biased on that one, I guess. A little. I'll take my blackberry and get my bonus good. So 3 rounds to go. Round 6. And I will be going first.
All right. Round 6 fight. We got a 3 here by Edith. We got a 4 up here. 3 5s at this shed time. And a 6.
The dice are lovely.
Yeah, they really are.
And the action is shed, if I'm not mistaken.
First player marker here is real nice as well. The pumpkin.
It is. It's the pumpkin. I have first action here, correct? I have not been going to the shed, so that doesn't seem like my most, and I'm going to get to go to shed on this one. So there might be an opportunity here, though there's only one more rain. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to keep on the apiary trail, and we're going to go because I like my zone 3, and I want to go on the apiary. So let me take that.
Take it a 3?
Yeah, definitely taking 3.
Okay. Okay.
And two most, we got actually Mr. Coaster. Oh, we didn't move Edith.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Coaster's got us covered.
All right, I think I'm going to take the
All right,
6.
two most taking a 5. Taking 6 and
it's
5
so
and
6 for Coaster and 5 for two most difficult, which leaves you with
let's see here.
interesting choices left here. Interesting.
I think I'm going to take a 5 and go some shed time.
Which means at the end of this one, we all are going to get our planting and watering again. So we're going to have some pretty decent gardens going here.
Okay.
I do want to point out that on a turn before, I actually had filled in between two pumpkin patches, so I got a perennial action. No actions to take. It was just victory points at the end, but I want to point that out because that is one of the things when you look at this board. I just want to bring it up for people if they tune in here. You could see around the board on the left-hand side, there's very clearly these like little perennial actions between the pumpkin patches, and when you fill in both, you get that extra action. So it's a nice little boost.
All right, so we had our shared action, and then don't forget to do a end of round shed action. And then we'll move on to round 7.
Yeah. End of round shed. I will say I do like that mulch action. It's a neat little option, so I'm jumping on it.
All right.
I don't know.
Everybody ready for a roll?
Yeah, roll. Give us a roll. We are 2 rounds away from the end of this game. Mr. Coaster taking the lead on this round.
All right, we got a 1 there. Get a 4 there. 5 there. And 3 there.
The apiary is rich.
It is. Tis.
I'm going to take the 1 and the apiary fruit.
Got it.
This is an important note I want that we can make just for two most difficult, so he knows. If he wants to change a die, just to clarify this, 6 goes to 1. Just want to put that out there. I don't know if you mentioned before, but that's a really important die change clarification. 6 goes to 1 or 1 goes to 6. They do allow that. So,
yes, good point. I don't think I mentioned that.
And you can use more than one compost. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you can use, I think you said it, but you can use the compost, but that you can double down on a compost. So.
All right, taking one of those 6s, are you? I may join you on that. Yeah.
I'm joining the
So you're
6
saying
club.
you can stack the compost.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to take a 6 as well. I'm actually composting and turning it into a 1 though.
Yeah, me too.
And then the apiary. Ooh, but this is great. I don't know how many of you have got that, but I'm at the split in the apiary, and this is my first time having that option in the times I've played this now. So
Same here. Same here.
And it's interesting though, because the goods number, I am in nowhere near 40 or 35 right now. So I'm not sure that it's worth going towards that this late in the game.
All right, so now we've got a shared action of a 4 and a shed time.
Yep. Shared action of a 4 and a shed time.
A little jealous of the casserole dish. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. I took the pitchfork, I have to say, because I've taken a lot of the small 1 actions this time around in the shed. I haven't taken any of the big ones. One of you might have a big tractor coming and drop 18 points, but the big thing is the farmer's market, though, on this one. So,
yep. So we're at farmer's market event right now. Did I get to 20? No.
the farmer's market is my friend.
All right. Let's see here. What perennial shall we do?
Fruit action.
And
it is part of it because I have to remember, for example, of when I take a particular action. I took the blackberry action as an example, and that does mean I get a additional good, but I have to remember it. So that is a reminder. If you have not played one of these games by both these gentlemen, you do kind of have to use again that journal section. That's what just reminded me.
Yeah.
Because that just got me an extra action. That's the best part about it. On top of my already existing fruit action, I got an extra action on top of it, and keep me going.
All right, friends, we are at the final round. It's going to end with rain.
As far as I'm concerned.
And here we go. All right. We got a 1 right here. We got a 2 right here. A 5. And again, not a huge fan of this, but 3 6s.
On the apiary.
So, yeah, there you go. Satan's honey, as it was.
And yes, final round. Let's do it.
All right, so that's me. Let's see here. Gonna get some rain. Yeah, I'm taking the 1.
All right. Well, it looks like so he took the 2, you took the 1. I don't want shed time necessarily, but rain is the final action here. But I'm telling you, this apiary and fruit have been good to me, and I'm going to. Shed time's not going to be bad. I got to take apiary and fruit. I am also going to, but I'm going to compost once again and make it a 1, and then cross off in that section. But that's fine.
Sorry, what did you take? I totally didn't
I took
hear
a 6 and I turned it into a 1.
6. Got it. And
just to clarify
taking a
the
2.
step there, yeah.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna take the 6 in the apiary.
Apiary.
Let's see here, and I think I'll water.
Did you go through for apiary?
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing a fruit action.
Yep. And at the present, we sit with the lowest action being a compost and 4 goods. And a 5. So that compost 4 goods plus the 5 is how many? Oh, 4 goods. That gets me an extra action. And a compost, which will, I guess, be useless now in retrospect because it's the end of a game.
Yeah, I was curious. I thought maybe there would have been a thing where the leftover compost was, even if it was like 2 for 1 or something, like they were like a half point each.
Right.
But maybe it comes in play with tiebreaker. I haven't looked up tiebreaker stuff yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. 4 goods is going to give me another bonus.
And be excited because the game does end in rain. Everyone be excited. It rains to end the glorious creation of our garden.
It's a good way to end.
It is a wonderful way to end. So when
I didn't
everyone
really
gets
take
there,
advantage of this last rainfall, though.
Yeah. Which everyone can do it. If you're at that point now, we've done and you've done all your other actions, you can take that time now to get it set. Don't know if I have it in all my spots. I'm running out of spots I can even do it. Some of these were so full.
I think I did very poorly.
All right. So at this point, if you've taken your rain actions, you can start scoring up and coming up with your scores. And that's what we'll do now. If there are questions about the game from anyone still in here, certainly ask them. I'll try to bring them up. I'll look up every once in a while. I am trying to score my own sheet. But yeah, I definitely like this one quite a bit. Ugh. Yes, if you don't like math, you do have to do the math at the end of the game. It's true, though. It's so true. Okay. So this is the fun part, right, everybody?
This is a riveting broadcast here.
This is where it gets truly riveting as we count out our numbers. Well, you know, the thing that I had to remember, just to be really clear, I had to remember that I took a action earlier. And that it impacted like a scoring thing. Sorry, I was trying to like be mindful of what I did. 21, 22, 23, 24, 26. Oh my God. The perennials.
I got no perennial points this week.
No perennial points?
Nope.
So we have one score in the books. It's 56 points for 2 most difficult. It says no idea if that's good, and that's a fair question because I think none of us truly know. The shed points is where I stink, to be quite honest. I get the sense we're going to get quite a good shed points from Mr. Coaster here. To be fair, I didn't get you by much. That was not. I don't love some of my end game there. And I had 59 points. I don't know. I only had one. I had 10 points in perennials. So let's get an update here. 2 most difficult says 28 points from the garden, 9 from fruit, and 19 from the shed. So went heavy on the shed and got 19 points out of there. I got 5 or 6 points from the shed. I did not get a ton out of the shed.
I got 18 from the shed.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I am recounting my garden points though because I'm
Yeah. The garden's the area where
convinced I did something wrong.
Why? Because you have good points there?
Mm-hmm. I did get a lot of.
Yeah, I'm right. I double checked.
Full crops here. All right. Yep. All right. So I'm at my grand total here.
I was off by 1. I actually had 27 in my garden. So I had 60.
What?
I had 60.
59.
I was off by 1 in my garden. I had 1 that I didn't count for my beans. So it was 60 for total score.
I'm at 75.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Nice game.
Yeah,
nice
that's
game.
why I double counted. I got 47 garden points.
Wow, good job.
Jeez. And you said 75.
I'm counting again. Just I'm not supposed to win.
So Anthony's 75, but did you say, Bill, did you say 58?
59.
59? I have 60.
I have 35 in the garden. I got nothing. I fell 1 short of perennials of maxing my perennial hydrangea track. And I noticed, and this is one of the things that's going to come with further plays, I fell 1 short from hitting the scoring track in a bunch of different spots. So, I misfocused. I maybe planted some extra and I should have been watering. But nothing in the apiary. You guys went apiary. I went sort of with the fruit. I got 17 out of the fruit, 7 out of the shed.
Yeah. I have 26 in the garden, 10 in the
so interesting. It's so interesting.
Apiary. And is it 5 in the shed, it looks like? So I add this up. I'm just making sure I have this right. 36, 48. Yeah. All right. 60. So that's close. That was 60, 59, 58, and then Anthony's up there with 75. So for those who have tuned in, watched this, obviously, fun little game. We spent 10 minutes teaching it. We certainly spent plenty of time talking about it. You could still see it took about an hour with all that. So
yeah,
the game plays quick, especially when you're sitting at a table. I highly recommend Three Sisters, certainly, to check out if you get a chance. If you like Fleet the Dice game, you're going to like this game. If you haven't played Fleet the Dice game, try this game. I mean, there's we're going to have an episode, by the way, about Fleet the Dice game. Anthony's coming on Tabletop Express to talk on is this game for you? So we're going to talk about Fleet the Dice game. And we may have to talk about this one at some point, Anthony, in that format too. But
yeah,
I will encourage people on the Tabletop Express side, check the calendar, but both the designers of this game will be coming on there to talk to me on Creators Corner. And if you have questions for them, happy to bring them right to them. I want to thank you, Two Most Difficult, for coming on. Please go take a look for Two Most Difficult, one half of a wonderful team over there that is podcasting and all major podcast apps. So go check that out. Mr. Coaster, everyone should follow you and say hi. You're just fun. That's all I have to say. Would you have anything? Yeah, do you have anything fun going on right now?
Just with board games and hopefully planning some trips, but we've had to reschedule some things, but we're looking forward and playing a lot of fun games in the meantime.
Awesome. And with that said, Anthony, thanks for the collaboration. We'll be back with more of these. I think we were talking about I recently purchased the print and play for a wonderful game, and I think we may need to bring that to the channel because everyone should spend $5 on this print and play, as far as I'm concerned. Journeys, which is wonderful. absolutely wonderful. And all you get to do is print it out in your home, and anyone can play with us all at the same time. So it's a really enjoyable game. So
yeah, we'll check that out.
I don't think I have to do much convincing with you on that one, so I won't try too hard.
No, I don't think so.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate on behalf of both myself and Anthony for coming on over to our channels tonight. And stay tuned. More good stuff coming. As far as Anthony always says on my channel, choo choo. Here to the Express.
Choo choo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
have a.
I want to make before we go, I want to make an open invitation for anybody who is interested. And Chris, I don't even think I asked you this yet, so this goes for you too. Today is 2/2/22, but even cooler than that is in a few weeks we got 2/22/22. So over on Board Game Dads, we're going to do a 2/2/2/22, and it's a Tuesday. So enough rambling, but the point is, if anybody wants to submit a clip where you talk about your favorite 2-player games, you can send them on over to me, and we're going to make a little bit of a compilation in between some of our own picks. So send them over, favorite 2-player games. They don't have to be 2-player only, although Eric is kind of being a little bit of a stickler about that. I'm okay if it's not, but for our picks, we are doing 2-player only games. But open invitation, send them on over, and we'll get you up into the episode.
This may be one game I like, not necessarily what I'll send over. I may like this game quite a bit. So thank you. Yeah, definitely send that over. Questions. Thank you again, Mr. Coaster, for joining us here tonight. And we'll see everybody really soon. Appreciate everyone coming aboard and taking the call from Twitter tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.